Welcome back to Screen the Screener. Was it 1 week or 2 weeks off? We took 2 weeks off, right?
I think 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed you guys.
My bad.
Missed you more.
I did not. I see you both all the time. So I'm not going to lie to our listeners. I'm not going to lie to our listener who already knows that we see each other all the time. Tyler, we're not going to talk about the Super Bowl a lot, I don't think. I don't think we need to get into that. You did make some kind of absurd statement going into the Super Bowl that I wanted to revisit with you. How did your one bet for the Super Bowl go?
It went great.
How many bets did you end up making?
I think I ended up making like 4 or 5.
That's it?
I indulged a little bit. Nah, I didn't go
Indulged.
crazy. I still stuck to the I'm not going to bet on the Patriots whole mentality, but
Yep.
I did more than one for sure.
Did you hit on anything?
No, not a single. Actually, no, I hit the coin flip. I picked heads for coin flip, which was like 5 to win $10. So that was it. It wasn't like last year where I was like just getting lucky left and right.
I hit on none of my bets. Like none of my bets. One of them was for the running backs to have 25 yards rushing in each half, and somehow that didn't hit, I think, because Stevenson didn't have 25.
Yeah, I mean, we could barely move the ball. I saw at halftime they were saying that Bad Bunny had more like rushing yards than the Patriots offense.
God, that's amazing. Listen, did you hit on anything, Matt?
Yes.
Any luck?
I made a lot of bets because I made bets like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl happened. And then I looked again and then made more bets a week later. And then I made bets the day of. But the one that I hit that I was happy with was a parlay with Seahawks DST scoring, defensive special team scoring, and I also had the Patriots DST scoring with the Patriots money line just in case.
I remember you did that. I thought that was interesting. What were the odds?
Not as good as you would. It was like 5 to win 30. I thought it would be higher.
Yeah, me too. But Tyler, I think you would, if I'm going to bring up gambling, I think you'd have something to throw in my face right now. This is what I really wanted to get to. Golf.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
Tell me about it. Like, what happened?
So I'm just seeing that Pebble Beach is happening, and I usually watch. This year I'm so like golf is going to be so bad for me this summer. Like, people are texting me like, "Oh, I can't wait to play." I'm nervous to take my clubs out. Like, I honestly think I'm going to play so bad this year because I haven't watched golf. I haven't like really swung a club at all. So it'll be a mess. But anyways,
you think watching golf makes you a better golfer in the summer?
Yes. I don't know. I'm the type of guy that I think it is with sports.
Thing, right?
It's like an IQ thing. Like, if I'm sitting there, I mean, those guys are drilling the green. It's not like they're like in the woods and they're figuring out how to get out of the woods. Like, I just think watching it gets me in like the mindset of playing a little bit better, where I feel like golf, I have to get in the mindset. I can't just show up one day and be like, let's let it rip.
You'll play great for the first 2 rounds, and then muscle memory will kick in, and all the bad habits will come back. That's what happens.
That is true.
Year.
Sounds like a fun game. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. But that's where I'm on DraftKings, and I'm like, oh, is there like a golf tournament going on? See, that's Pebble Beach, and Colin Morikawa is my absolute guy, and I've bet on him for like the last 2 years in the majority of tournaments.
Is he your guy because of the show?
Not really. I just thought he was cool. Like, I'd see like videos of him from like golf influencers, and he just seemed like a pretty down to earth guy.
More of a social media thing.
Yeah, like a social media thing. And I was like, oh, he's pretty cool. And so there's like a few names that'll like pop up where I think that they're cool dudes. And so Colin Morikawa is just a guy where like I've enjoyed watching him play. And so I bet on him for Pebble Beach because the odds were just insane. And I had like totally forgot that the tournament was going on. I go back into DraftKings because I've been betting on college basketball. I'm like, whoa, what is this in my account? What happened here? And I'm like, holy crap, Colin Morikawa. Good for him and good for me. Like, I was pretty stoked. But
how many days after did you figure it out?
Like 4. Like, it was so long after the tournament.
That's amazing.
I was because I was basically in New York and I was doing like the tournament, and I think Pebble Beach was while I was in New York, like right in the center of when I was there. And so I got back on Wednesday night, and so it was Thursday. So literally like 4 days later after the tournament, I saw it. So pretty wild.
And it was, I mean, can I tell the numbers? I mean, it was a 5 to win 145.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I probably should remember that because I was all gassed up about it.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's super solid. But no, it was $1.44 because I like to even my account out. It was $1.44 to win $195.84. So that's where like I should put $10 on that thing.
Yeah, McShay's already going to be chirping. He's already chirping.
He's written me off.
If you put 150 on it, your college loans would be paid off by now. Ty.
That's probably the funniest gambling thing is when Gabby does not gamble at all, and I'm not just saying that to say it. Like there was a phase when we were watching the Celtics 2 years ago where she wanted to place a couple bets and she hit one, and she was like, "Why didn't I put $20 on that?" And I was like, "All right, you're done gambling. You're done." Like that's not how it works.
It does seem like it's more of a. I'm going to get myself in trouble here. Because there are some female influencers in the gambling industry that are really good, but it does seem like it's more of a male thing, the gambling stuff. It's kind of weird. Or maybe it's just sports gambling, because you can gamble on everything. Maybe they're like, I don't know. So that is interesting. But yeah, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I promise, Matt, I promise we didn't take 2 weeks off so you can go off of the Patriots. Is there anything that you would like to do? I'm going to give you the floor for 10 seconds if you want it to just gloat over the fact that they lost that game.
I don't want to gloat. I just hopefully everybody's anointing of Drake Maye as the next Tom Brady has pumped the brakes a little bit.
Whoa.
Definitely not pumping the brakes on that.
He looked pretty ordinary against that excellent defense.
Yeah, this is all right. I wasn't going to do it, but you had to piss me off. Every time I heard this, they were like, "Oh, Matt Stafford against that Seattle defense did blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and there was actually guys lining up on the left side of the offensive line for him. Like there was, I mean, it's a massive difference between what Stafford had and what Drake Maye had." So
you brought up Stafford. I didn't even bring up Stafford. I'm just saying, in general, he looked pretty ordinary against the excellent Seahawks defense. That's what I said word for word.
Can I say something awful, actually, that I think our viewer would be pretty upset about?
Yeah, can't wait.
So, as a Patriots fan, I'm obviously not happy that we lost. But
no,
I'm kind of happy that Drake Maye didn't get the MVP his first time running, and he didn't win a Super Bowl in his second year. I'm kind of at it, and mainly because it'll always go back to the Celtics. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, that whole team was a better team after they lost for the first time. They were always getting there, and they just couldn't figure it out. They finally got to the finals, and then they just get stomped out. And they come back. They have 1 year that's bad, but then they fully come back and they win the finals, and they're one of the best teams in history. So I'm happy that Drake Maye now has like kind of something to get over now.
You know better. You know that they are two very different leagues, and the NFL is.
I know it's very different leagues. I'm just saying from a player arc, I'm happy that happened where it's not everything just being handed to him. Because, like Matt said, Pats fans are already putting him on the same level as Tom Brady and talking about how he's the next Tom Brady for New England. This year has been insane for that guy. Like, he could do no wrong, and then he actually plays really bad in the Super Bowl. I know he had no left side, but it plays really bad in the Super Bowl. I'm okay with it. He's going to come back way better.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it, is that he comes back way better than he would if he would have won.
Yeah.
He comes back angry.
No, I don't think if he won, he would have. I don't know. If
he comes back angry. What do you think he's going to do this offseason? Just thinking of Seattle all during the offseason.
He's probably
angry.
He's probably going to rehab his shoulder.
Definitely. He needs to.
Yikes. I'm a little worried about that, by the way. Yikes. All right. That's Tyler Besman with Matt Solso, the ginger. And I'm Steve Mensch. This is Screen the Screen. All right, it's going to be a pretty Olympic heavy show, I think, which is cool. I'm going to let Matt kick it off a little bit because I feel like you've been really locked in with the hockey games. I've been watching a lot of the highlights. Just my schedule hasn't really matched up, and I've actually caught more of this Olympics than one and I can remember in a long time, and I think it's been pretty fascinating, to be honest with you. There's a lot of interesting storylines and stuff going on, but the hockey has been incredible, right?
Yes. 5 straight overtime playoff games. It's been unreal. You had Switzerland.
And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the U.S. game was unreal against Sweden. I was very nervous about that. I tried my reverse jinx of betting on Sweden, and it worked like a charm, and the U.S. won. I was very happy with that. The Canada game was insane when Czechia goes up 3-2 with like 8 minutes to go in the third, when they had not 6 but 7 or 8 skaters on the ice. There's a screenshot, and they have 6 or 7 or 8 skaters on the ice. I can't remember. They are way over on the too many men on the ice.
It's egregious.
Oh my god, it's egregious. And if they had ended up winning, Canada would have had a collective conniption fit. It would have been unreal, but it's a moot point now because Canada's a truck and there's no stopping them.
Really, you think so?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was interesting that the U.S. had to play Sweden in the quarterfinals because Sweden's like a legitimate medal contender. They're a stacked team. So I was really nervous about that game. And now we have Slovakia, which I'm not quite as nervous about because we've been tested and I feel like we're going to take care of business against Slovakia. That was me knocking on wood.
No Swayman in net though, right?
God, no.
Get the dogs going.
No, definitely
Swayman's been terrible.
Well, he let that one in from the red line, but I guess from what I understand,
that was awful.
From what I understand, the boards are not white. Like we can't tell on TV because they've got all the ads up, but I guess the boards are like blue. And so it was like the perfect height between the crowd, the dasher, and the boards where he couldn't see it. And that's why they scored. And he did. I'll give him a lot of credit. He didn't blame that. He was like, I got to have that. He's like, there's no excuse for that, whatever. But I guess everybody complained about it so badly that they now have made the boards white after the semifinals for the women's.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, actually, let's circle back there and start kind of at the end or where we are right now in the Olympic hockey situation. Like a couple hours before we came on, the American women's hockey team beat Canada 2-1. I did not catch all of the game, but I caught the end of the game, and man, like an Olympic moment.
It was
when
awesome.
they show the highlights, when they go back and show the highlights of this Olympics at the end, when they do the closing ceremonies and all that, this will be something that they run pretty predominantly, maybe even at the end, because one, you have it's Hillary Knight, right?
Yes.
She ties it, who's like an American legend.
Highest scoring women's hockey player.
15 goals, right? 15 goals in the Olympics. Yeah. And she got engaged at this Olympics. What a cool like run for her. That's amazing. But with like less than 3 minutes, maybe less than 2 minutes.
It was 2 minutes.
She tips it
4
in.
seconds.
Yep. She chips it in.
Extra man on the ice. They pulled the goalie. It was awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So that she chips it and ties it. But that was awesome because of the player and the situation and all of that. But the game-winning goal was absolutely sick. And I can't believe it was a defenseman. It was a toe drag, right?
No, well, she kind of
defender.
Put it between the defender's skates and her stick, and its defender had like overcommitted, and it was just a beautiful play. And I felt so bad for that defenseman because you see her sliding into the boards, and her face is already in the ice, and she's just like, I can't believe that just happened, as she crashes in.
Right. She actually looked like she was in a great position, like she was playing it right. It was just an unbelievable move. And the goal was it kind of trickled in, but still, it was the backhand. I think it was a 5-hole.
No, it was above the pad under the blocker. The goalie hit it with the blocker, and it like went down off her pad and then trickled in.
Unbelievable goal, overtime. Canadian fans shaking their heads, couldn't believe that it happened. One of those things that like you just steal the win, and it was awesome. And it's still cool to me it's still cool to me, despite all of the, and I don't want to get into politics here, but like there's obviously situations in our country right now where people maybe aren't feeling the proudest about it, and Olympians have voiced their opinions about that and how conflicted they are. And I think they have every right to do so. That's part of our country. Still, it's one of the greatest parts of our country. It's still very cool to me to see Olympic athletes skating around, skiing, whatever it is, with the American flag and the national anthem getting played. Since I was a kid, it was awesome. I still think it's awesome. I love watching it happen. I do want to ask this. I want to get back to hockey, but this is something that just popped into my mind. I kind of think that the Olympics going to the 2 and 2 year formats instead of having the summer and the winter in the same year didn't help the Olympics. I think that having it every 4 years was, as a kid, you were like, this is something that's big. It only happens every 4 years. It's a year-long thing. Like the Olympics were a massive deal. I don't like the fact that they've alternated it.
I agree. I feel like I almost forget that it's even happening. Like the Winter Olympics, like all of a sudden events started happening, like the skiing events started happening, and I was like, "Wait, the Olympics is on right now?" And so I feel like I'm always like slow to it. Even the Summer Olympics, which is like the sports that I actually enjoy watching, I'm still late to those too. So I agree. I think every 4 years would be maybe a little bit more fun, and I would actually like get excited waiting for that. I also think it's a little weird that we also have like the World Cup is going on now this year, but it hasn't really been talked about a lot because the Olympics are this year. So I think it's created a mess with like the international scale for sports. So I like the every 4 year if you're gonna do winter and summer, not just 2 and 2.
I disagree. I like spacing it out because I get Olympics. I love the Olympics. I think it's some
Yeah.
of the coolest sports things because the vast majority of people are amateurs, and this is what they do. And they do it because they love it, not because, this is, their way to fame and fortune.
Yes.
And the fact that
Mm.
it's such a small margin of error that it's literally one missed twist. And for the 4 years or 8 years that they've been busting their butt to try and get to this moment, it's gone. And it's just, I can't imagine anything more stressful or with more pressure on it. And some people thrive in it, some people don't. Some people don't and learn from it and come back and, excel afterwards. I love all of the stories. And I'll get into this later, but the U.S. has not had the best Olympics. A lot of their people that were supposed to, absolutely just dominate have not. And I've been really impressed with the maturity and the people coming back to talk about it. And I can't imagine, going through all of this. You get there, you screw up, and literally 2 minutes after it's happened, you've got a microphone in your face going like, "How does it feel to suck?" And they're so composed and they're so composed and they're honest and vulnerable. And I have a lot of, I give a lot of credit to those folks, but I think when they win, like the sheer passion that they've got for it, like
Gosh.
it's chills. I don't care whether it's a Kazakhstani cross country skier or, an American snowboarder that was supposed to win. It's still really, really cool. It's just really cool.
It is so cool. And kind of like, it's still, for me, it's a compliment. It's sort of positive about the games. But on the flip side of it, you talk about the people who are supposed to win. They interviewed an American skier who finished, I think, like 15th or 16th in the downhill. It was his last Olympics. He was 32, and he kind of just had a breakdown. He just started crying about how he has a son and this is it. And it wasn't about like, it wasn't for him. It wasn't about, clearly in the interview, it wasn't about winning or where he placed. It was about being an Olympian. It was about all the effort it takes to be an Olympian and to be like, yes, you want to be someone who said, I was a bronze medalist or I won the gold medal. And that's what everyone wants. I won it in this event. But just to say you're an Olympian, just to say I competed in 3 Olympics, that is such a massive accomplishment. There are so few people in the world that can do what these people do. I think it's really cool that they can look at it and be like, I am part of a community, and maybe I'm not the elite, the top guy, which I'm going to segue right now to. Like, we were watching ski jumping. Iris, Stella, and I were watching ski jumping, and both of them I guess Stella and Iris had never seen it before. And she was like, what is this? Like, these guys are launching themselves off these jumps. They're at these weird angles. They're trying to stay in the air. And immediately I was like, okay, we got to watch Eddie the Eagle. And I don't know if you guys know who Eddie the Eagle is.
No.
But the 1988 Calgary Games, basically Great Britain didn't have ski jumpers. And this was a guy that wanted to be an Olympian more than anything else. And if you see him, he looks like he's got these thick glasses. He's kind of a nerd. And I'm sure the movie, it's like a Disney movie. It glosses over everything that might have been negative. But he ends up going and breaking the records for Great Britain's ski jumping and all that. But there's a scene in it where he's going up to the jump. What are you laughing at? You look at his face?
Yeah, I'm just looking at this guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a goof.
He does. He looks like an absolute goof. And everyone told him he couldn't do it. All, like that whole story. Yep,
Eddie
there
the
he is.
Eagle.
And then they had the guy, like one of the, like some great looking actor play him, which was, I don't know how we're doing that. But he's going up to the elevator to the top of the jump, and he's talking to the guy who's like the gold medalist, the best in the sport. And he's like, we're a lot alike. It's about competing. It's about doing our best and all that stuff. That's what's great about it, man. That's what I love about it. I will say this. I think I'm more of a winter guy than a summer guy. They're both great. I think I'm more of a winter guy. And the reason I am is because it's absolutely bananas, some of these things these people do. I'll watch something and be like, that's the craziest thing you can do in sports, right? Like you can watch someone flying off a half pipe and then it's like, okay, now I'm going to go watch luge. And these people flying down a sheet of ice at 90 miles an hour, like whatever the speeds are. And it's like, that's the craziest thing you can do. And then all of a sudden you see a guy doing moguls and he's skiing backwards to the thing. And it's like, that's the craziest thing. My favorite, and maybe it's not the most dangerous, but my favorite thing in the world is the speed skating sprints. It is
the short track.
Chaos.
The short track.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is absolute chaos what these people do. And a lot of times I think it's kind of funny because as a sport, you're like, you really wanted to be decided about this. Some of it's just like, can you stay on your feet? Can you stay on your feet through the end of it? And then you've got a shot to win. But yeah, I think it's when you look at the winter sports, you're like, there's some events in here that are nuts.
There's one where you have to, like, on skis, climb the mountain and then come back down the mountain. And I didn't know that was a thing.
That's new.
And so I'm seeing these people go up the mountain. And I was like, what the hell are they doing? They're going the wrong way. And I'm also like, how are they even doing that? And I like watched a video where they have like the grips on the bottom. And the way that they take them off is they like slightly jump, rip them off, and then go. It's like the most athletic move I've seen. It's insane. But I have a question for you guys. Both Olympics, winter and summer, if you were to be an Olympian, gold medalist, like I'm talking Michael Phelps, best of the best, what sport/event would you want to be?
Ice hockey.
Oh, that's a good one. I like the team. I like the idea of the team. Let's do, if you were going to do a team, I'd go ice hockey too. I would go ice hockey.
Yeah, so let's do team and let's do individual.
Individual, 100 meters. I mean, I think that's the greatest.
That's what I was going to say.
It's the greatest of all Olympic events in my mind. It is, when I was a kid, it was the must-watch thing. Now, you could do cool ones. I mean, you could be like, I would pole vaulting. I mean, that would be a really cool thing or the decathlon. That's an individual event. That would be really cool too. But to me, to be able to say you're the fastest man on the planet, I think is cool. And those guys have always been rock stars. Like Usain Bolt.
Especially Usain Bolt, yeah.
Dude, he's an absolute rock star. And Michael Johnson was like a guy, I don't think you might not know that name, Tyler, but he was never a 100-meter guy. He was like the 200, is it 220 or 200?
It's the 400 and the 800, I thought.
Maybe that's what it was. But he was fun to watch because he absolutely flew. I mean, there's guys that absolutely fly, and that's cool. But I think for me, it would have to be the 100-meter, right?
I think so. I think that's like an ultimate Olympian sport. It's like goes back to being like the original sport being track and the 100-meter being like the featured event. So I think that's where I'd be. I guess team-wise, I'd maybe be basic and go like beach volleyball, but just because of the vibes, like just being out on the beach all day and like
hanging out with Brazilians.
Hanging out with Brazilians. Like, I don't know. I think that would be cool, but I don't know. It's something that I think about where I'm like, all right, it's going to be this sport or this event. But then I see a new one, like the skiing one, and I'm like, that's sick. Like, that would be awesome to be the best at. Or like, I mean, we'll see how it goes, but LA 28 has flag football, and it's going to have NFL players in it. So I don't know. Maybe that's the event that I choose.
I think that's
wanna
cool.
be
I
best
wish
at
it was
that.
like Matt mentioned. I wish it was more amateurs. Like I don't really need to see whoever, like say Tyreek Hill or whoever, running around playing flag
But I
football. Like
think
I don't.
the product would then suck for like. I think the product would suck because then people would be like, "Oh, well, you didn't really face like the best football players that the U.S. has," and so then the event wouldn't really
Let's
get
be
the
honest,
same
if the
traction.
US doesn't
That's fair.
absolutely dominate flag football, then there's something wrong. That's like
Yeah. Well, I think that's where people actually watch because they're kind of like, if they suck, I need to see that. Like, I need to make sure that I see the U.S. lose if
Do we
they're
know if
putting out
any?
Jamar Chase and Pat Mahomes.
They're not going to get those guys to play that, right?
They said that I don't know, but they said that it's one person per team, and I don't know if it's like 100% there'll be one from each team, but that was the rule. If they use NFL players, it has to be one from each team.
Well, you could only have one NFL player on your team.
So if you were to have the USA flag football team and you're like, I'm
Mhm.
only going to use NFL players, you couldn't look at the Bengals and be like, I want Burrow and I want Chase.
Why?
You would have to only get one of them. So you can't just be like, give me the whole entire Seattle
All right, this is
Seahawks
it.
championship roster.
This is what I want to know. So there would be this is great.
I think it's
Give me
7-on-7 is what it would be.
Yeah, give me your team.
they play both ways though, right? You don't have like a defense and an offense. I think they play both ways.
That's a good
Tyler, look
question.
that up right quick.
Yeah.
Look it up real quick.
You guys
We're gonna
start brainstorming. I'll look it up.
If that's the case, I
Yeah,
want
we're gonna
Gonzo.
start.
I want Gonzo on my team. He was awesome in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. He was like
Yeah.
he was amazing.
This might be tough to come up with. Like the quarterback. So the quarterback you would want, I mean, Stafford would be great. You want a guy he's gonna process quickly and get the ball out. I think the
So
longer you
hold on,
wait,
let me pause you there just to make sure that I lay the format out right. So the players in the 2028 Olympic flag football are expected to play both ways, offense and defense. Format features small 5-on-5 squads, maximum 10 to 12 players without offensive or defensive linemen. That's pretty messed up. Allowing for versatile athletes to play offense, defense, special teams throughout 20-minute halves.
So 5-on-5.
5-on-5.
So it's what, a running back, 3 receivers, and a quarterback.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if someone has to snap the ball like we did in backyard football where you just turn and like
Yeah,
toss it or
I
something.
can't imagine that being a thing.
Yeah.
It would be like the All-Star game for the home run derby where you could pick like a family member to snap the ball to you, like the guy that you like.
Yeah.
You know, like they do
Right.
that.
Yeah,
They have their dad pitch them because I think that's so awesome that they do that.
that is cool.
Who would you go with? Like the quarterback would be. So now your quarterback's got to play defense.
I'm going Lamar.
It's not a bad choice if your quarterback's playing defense.
Yeah. I mean, I hate it, but I'd probably also I'd be cool with a Mahomes. I think I'd be cool with a Josh Allen because of how big he is.
Mahomes can't play defense.
Anthony Richardson.
He's just
fine.
not
No?
that athletic. No. Listen, there's some sneak.
I
There's
thought he
some
was the best
sneaky
of the
names. Like Kyler Murray could be a great slot corner.
It's a good point.
I mean, you like depending on how you want to build a thing.
Dude, I mean, Anthony Richardson, man.
That's
Come
what I'm
on
saying.
now.
That's-
He'd
yeah,
be a
but-
dog.
Yeah, he would be, but you would. Josh Allen is the better version of that, right? He's the similar build, but the.
I
better
think Anthony
player.
Richardson would hurt someone on accident. Like, I think he's just too athletic.
And then you'd go with. I guess you would mix it up, right? You'd build it like an NFL roster. You would just make an all-star team because you'd still want the small slot guys who can separate. Your running back, by the way, you're picking a receiving running back. I mean, Austin Eckler,
Jahmyr Gibbs.
yeah,
Whoever
Jahmyr
who's
Gibbs.
shifting.
Austin Eckler at his prime would have been the best Olympic running back you could have.
James White would have been sick.
I don't think so. I love James White. James White was awesome, but he wasn't a guy that was going to create on his own. Really, he was just a
That's
guy
fair.
that made the most of every opportunity he got. Gibbs would be awesome. Yeah,
You wouldn't
Gibbs
go
would be awesome.
like wide receivers. You wouldn't go like just straight jump balls because where my head is at is it's the first year and it's gonna be like what us versus Brazil. I don't know if they're really rolling out like 6'1" Brazilian dudes to cover like I don't know like T Higgins or Mike Evans or Justin Jefferson 100% is going to be in it, and he's going to be the MVP. He will jump ball everybody, and you'll outrun everybody. Like it's a mess.
I'm laughing because I now they have enough good ideas. They're not going to do this. I would love to see the South Park version of the Olympic flag football where they play, you know how they would play up on every stereotype from every country? And what would be, dude, it would be so good. I won't say which countries, but some
I
of
was
them
just
might
gonna
have
say,
really short
give me some
people.
examples, Steve.
We
I
need
can't do it.
publicity.
I can't do it like those guys could do it. They whatever. But if they're out there and they somehow hear this, I think it would be a great episode, man. I think it would be amazing.
Oh, it'd
They've
be
done
so funny.
Their movie Basketball is, I don't know if Tyler, if you've ever seen Basketball.
I have
It
multiple
is
times. It's good.
amazing how funny that movie is. So I'm just now imagining, but because your point's good. What do these athletes look like that they're coming from? I mean, are we getting the Australian breakdancer? Like, is that what we're gonna?
Well,
Are some of these
Have
countries?
you seen Australian rules football? Like they're
Yes.
those guys are legit.
They're nuts.
Yeah, and they're
Yes.
they will flat out just tackle you and destroy you. Like I don't think they care about the flags.
But you can't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
But you gonna get kicked
I
out.
wonder how
You just
good
have
those
to
are-
put a new guy in.
Why? I'm going back in. You like no, like
They would all be positionless. Like I feel like most of the countries would
Yeah.
just be straight positionless. There'd be one dude where they're like, he kind of throws better than the rest of us. So
Yeah.
he's the quarterback, and then we're all just gonna run around like madmen and be honestly, that might be all the country's tactic is like just figure out how we could be locked down on defense. I don't care about putting up points. Just how can we make sure that the US can't score? They might just cover the deep ball the whole entire time, and that's it. But I don't know. It'll be weird.
Yeah,
but
I
it'll
think
be
you guys
fun.
are both right. Like the U.S. should run away with that. But man, it could be funny. It could be really, really
So
funny. Like if you get some quarterback from one of these countries who's just like throwing it all over the place, like just like not hitting like the broadside of a barn, like it would be amazing.
Hey,
amazing.
That'd be so funny.
Tyler,
And it, like, what if that did happen, Matt? What if the Australians just started running people over and they were like, yeah, they get kicked out. They're like, don't understand.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, all right. What do you want from us?
It's not our sport.
what do you call it football? You don't even use your feet. Tyler,
Yeah, that would be amazing.
we look up where they're playing the Olympic golf in LA. Are they playing at the Riviera?
Let's see.
Because I've never been able to watch Olympic golf, but I've always thought that would be really cool to see because, you've got the best in the world at several different countries. So really any country could win it. And I don't know what the format is, but I think it's like not necessarily just straight stroke play.
That sounded
No,
right.
you were right. Yeah, Riviera.
Yeah. So that'll be
Have
interesting.
you played there, Matt?
I have not. I played on NHL and PGA 2K 28 or whatever we're up to.
So yes.
Which is a fun game.
So
It
yes.
is a fun game.
Wait, when did that come out?
I'm just kidding.
Last
It's
fall?
whatever. I'm like 2 years behind, I think. Whatever the one I could play the Masters.
Okay.
at. And I still can't break par on the Masters. It's unreal in Augusta.
So
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just searched up like what the format will be for Olympic golf. So it seems it's pretty. It seems to be pretty basic, but it's format 72 holes, individual stroke play, duration 4 rounds of 18 holes over 4 days, field 60 players each, determined by Olympic golf ranking. So I'm assuming like
FedEx Cup.
probably at the end of 2027 or whatever. Medals, obviously gold, silver, and bronze will be awarded to the lowest cumulative scores.
There's not a team one. I thought there was like a team match where it was like, because I thought when it was in Paris, it was like Scotty Scheffler and forget who his partner was, but they had played really well to win. Whatever.
Oh, so yeah. Then what's new for 2028 is there's the mixed team event, and so that's 16 teams, 1 male and 1 female golfer from the same country.
That'll be interesting.
And players must be already qualified for individual events. Total holes, 36 holes played over 2 days. Round 1 format is foursomes, alternating shots. Round 2 format is 4-ball. So basically best ball. Both players play their own ball. Lowest score counts for the team. And then scoring is combined scores from both days. And then a sudden death playoff will break ties for medals.
That's awesome.
Sudden death would be in the Olympics would be sick.
Yeah. I'm definitely
I'm
a Winter
excited for
Olympics
it.
guy though. Like the Summer Olympics, like swimming. I like the sprints and swimming because it's so close. It's pretty exciting. I like gymnastics. Track doesn't do it for me. Like sure, the 100
It
meters.
gets old, right?
But I'm just like,
It does.
It gets old.
yeah, and there's a 500 heats, and it's just, and it's always the same 8 people in the finals, even though you have to go through the whole thing. So I maybe it's because I'm a winter sports guy. I just think it's more exciting. And
No, I agree.
I feel like there's more randomness to it in terms of people coming out of nowhere.
There's one sneaky, like, I'm definitely more summer just because I really enjoy those sports, especially like volleyball. I love sitting down and watching volleyball all day long. Like I would watch volleyball over any other sport. One thing that surprised me that I enjoyed this year that I never really have is curling. I love watching curling. And mainly because I sit there, like last night, Gabby and I were watching it, and I think it was just a highlight. I don't even think it was live. And it was Canada versus Italy. And the strategy going in women's. And the strategy was hilarious because basically Italy was able to get one of their rocks like right in the center
button.
And then Canada kept on trying to get close to it, but Italy wasn't even trying to get their next rock like on the target. They just set it up to just completely block, and Canada was pissed. And I was laughing.
That's how you're supposed to win.
No, it's got to be. And that's where like I started to learn the game a little bit and the strategy, and I started enjoying it. And then last play is like literally last shot for the whole entire match. Canada somehow weaves their rock between. Italy had like 3. They had 1 on the target and then 2 on defense. Somehow gets it through, and it's like an inch. And it was the most casual, like, yo, it was great playing. I'm like, you're literally 1 on the last shot, and it was that casual. But I'm fully invested in curling. Like every time I watch, I'm stoked.
So how do you feel about the
Italian
controversy of the Canadians cheating?
I thought that was so funny where it was like he like flicked his finger and then he was pissed about it. I was like, relax, dude.
The women's team did it too.
Well,
oh really?
And they were like so uppity about it. It was like it's like pretty obvious that happened. Like,
it's on replay, man.
It's a rule. I'm not sure why it's a rule, but apparently it is a rule. And you guys did do it, and then they're acting like, well, they tried to catch us. And it's like, yeah, because they probably saw it happening.
Yeah.
And we're saying obvious. Something, and nothing was happening. And so now they're pointing it out. And like, I did love the back and forth, the screaming at each other. I will ask you this. I did not see the Italian women's team play, but they have gotten a little bit of publicity for their attractiveness. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
Is that why you were tuning in, Tyler?
I think that's where I was starting to wave the Italy flag during that game. I was pretty.
Well,
it was a great
Italian.
match. Exactly.
Yes, it's now.
I was like, let's go Italy. This is great. I love it.
You're Italian by marriage, so that's good.
Exactly.
Plus, your mother thinks she's Italian, so that's great.
Yeah, that'll never make sense.
Here's one thing that I don't like about the Olympics, and it's difficult because I've made this argument. I want to be clear about this. I'm not saying you are, because you've heard it from me, right? These are athletes. I'm not saying they're not athletes. They are great competitors. But any event that is strictly judged, I have a hard time with, because there's no, and this happened to Chalk and Bates, the dance team, who, by the way, it's not that I don't want to watch this stuff. And it's not that I'm not like proud that these people are Americans, because I did watch their whole routine. I watched them during the team. I watched them during the individual, not the individual, but the couples part of it, just them. And they were amazing. Amazing how good they were, and how they were so graceful afterwards too. But it's clear, like when you're looking at the scores and the French team wins, and like the scoring is so skewed by the one French judge, that what are we doing here? Like and it happens in the summer too. Like you get the gymnastics. Those gymnasts might be the greatest athletes on the planet. The problem is it's a talent contest. It's like you're getting judged. You're not like there's no way to do it like where we just decide it like a clock, or it's even, you could say snowboarding. I guess there was a couple snowboarding situations where these people are in the half pipe. So it's hard for me with those things. I hate when judging becomes a story. I'm classically anti-ref, and that, so this is definitely in my MO.
Well,
No, I agree. At least my one thing is like with gymnastics, like it's the same thing with a cheerleading competition. Like it's fully judged. Like it's disappointing to see. So I agree with you. You told me that when I was like 8 years old, and I ran with it, and I would debate kids at the lunch table for years. So that's all I have to say.
Well, can you make the argument that, refs are judges, right? Like they didn't make a holding call. They did make a holding call. It wasn't a foul. It wasn't, they didn't call this. They did that. Like, there's always going to be and I understand that this is not apples and apples. Like it can't be apples and
No, I
oranges.
hear you. It's a fair point, but like I would push back and say that there's more. That it's far more in control. Like yes, there's always going to be some kind of. It's never going to be perfect. You're right. There's always going to be some kind of human influence that's going to cause some kind of imperfection, except for maybe like
ski racing
races. Yeah.
It's time. They have a camera. They know when you started. They know when you ended.
Yes. So those are clearly the cleanest of them all. If there's any kind of officiating, there's always going to be human error. I agree with that, but like there's a difference between that and someone deciding 30 seconds after you've left the ice or left the mountain or whatever that wasn't good enough. That's brutal to me. Just brutal and especially when you see it, like in the Olympics are classic for this, coming out and supporting the judge and be like, no, the judge was fine. It was like the judge gave them like the French team like a 7.5 points higher than the American team or something like that. And the rest, there was no one else that did like more than 3.
And it wasn't just the Olympics. It's like gone back through other competitions that they went back and looked at all of this judge's scores, and all of them were skewed towards the French and against the Americans.
It's just, yeah. So like, what are we doing? That's something that bothers me.
And I'll kind of stand in the middle where it's like boxing is also judged when it comes down to like by decision, but it's based off of like number of hits. Like gymnastics, I just went down a rabbit hole to figure out like how it's scored. Because it's annoying. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like you said, they're probably the best athletes in the world. And their scoring is one based off of difficulty scoring. So that's basically the event that they're doing and how difficult it is. And then it's execution. So judges subtracting points for form errors, bent knees, flexed feet. Like, that can be pretty opinionated where it's like, I saw your knee bend a little bit. And then the other judge is like, no, didn't see that at all. Like, they're not really being held accountable for that. And then it's also that score is then subtracted by neutral deductions. So it just seems to me like that needs to be fixed. It should be more straightforward with scoring. Like there can be opinions,
but I think
within that.
As a competitor, it goes into your strategy about competing, right? If you're the only person that can do 7 quads, then you're going to go do 7 quads because even if you fail at them, you're still getting a higher base score than people that do triples only. Or, if you're going to, is it better to do a harder trick not perfectly than an easier trick perfectly? And so then you have to figure out what that difference is.
What do you think, just out of generally, not in terms of scoring, like not morally, whatever the way you were saying it is, what would you say? Like, is it better to do?
I want people to go all out all the time.
I agree.
I think if you got the chance to set the score record, then you set that score record. And I think that's what happened to that kid, Ilya Malinin, the quad god. I think because he knew that all he had to do was have a clean program because that guy before him fell. If that guy hadn't fallen and he knew that he had to like have, do all his quads and everything, I think he would have done better and won the gold. But I think the fact of the matter is he went into it being like, I don't have to go do all of these different things. I just need to do the basics. And his body, that was just a switch of frame of mind for him. And so I think that's a reason why. And then once the wheels came off, I mean, I can't think of a disaster like that ever, where you've seen somebody that was supposedly.
You were at Tyler's 20th birthday.
But this kid, he won by 30 points in his last event or whatever, which is unheard of in figure skating. That's like winning by 100 points in basketball. Like, it doesn't happen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he was supposed to just school everybody. It wasn't even supposed to be close. And he didn't land any of them. I think he landed 1 quad and fell out of 2 and fell down twice. And I mean, you could just see the wheels coming off. And I've never seen somebody at that level have that big of a disastrous performance. Sort of like getting injured or, something like that. But I mean, and I felt, to be honest, I was like, he seemed like he had a real ego going into it and was like, I'm the quad god. Like, of course. And then he got real humbled real fast. And I give him a lot of credit. I think I said this at the beginning. I give him a lot of credit for being able to answer questions afterwards and be I read an article later about like, yeah, the Olympics are a different pressure. I thought it was going to be the same as every other thing, and it isn't, and it's different. And I'm interested to see him come back in 4 years and see what he does, because by then people will have caught up with him and be able to do just as many jumps as he can.
The way that you talked about that just made me think of Blades of Glory. And that was it. Like just Will Ferrell's guy where he's just a dog and then the wheels fall off and then it's a mess.
The move called where he chops his head off? Like, that's the issue. Like
the Lotus, the Iron Lotus.
The Iron Lotus.
It's the Iron Lotus. Dude, that movie's underrated.
It's a good movie.
Like, the mannequins.
Dude. It's, yeah. They ask Will Ferrell, like, you ever take steroids? Half cup. About half cup. So good. Oh. And he throws. He's doing like some like knockoff dancing on ice event at some point. And he's like throwing up in the mask. Oh, so good. Yeah. Anything else? You guys got anything else? So the Americans, are we gonna?
I've been really disappointed, like, in the Americans' performance this year. Like, I feel like, we're behind Italy. I mean, Norway's always going to do really well in the Winter Olympics. But Italy's having...
You're saying overall?
Overall. Like, gotcha. We have not dominated. Like, everybody who was supposed to dominate has not, with the exception of the women's hockey. And they almost blew it today. But, like, Michaela Schifrin, she finally... I was really happy she got her gold. But it's been...
that was cool.
It's been, like, 2 Olympics since she's won a gold. And she's literally got the most wins by 20% over anybody behind her in the World Cup, like, skiing. They said something like...
different thing,
over 50% of her races, she at least podiums. And she's gone like
that's crazy
10 races or something like that without even getting a podium in the Olympics. I mean, it just tells you it's a different kind of pressure.
It is. It's a different.
But like the figure skaters are all not doing well. I guess the women's. There's still one woman who has a chance to win the gold.
I saw the result. You know?
Oh, it's a long program already happened today. Okay, I haven't seen. So I'm sure we're gonna watch it tonight.
You want me to tell you?
No, I don't want to know. Or not? I like to go on unknown. So.
Yeah. So do I. I have not checked anything online. All of it's been watching it. This did pop into my mind just now because I think I didn't like this. Someone said Lindsey Vonn should not have raced because she took a spot away from someone else.
No, she earned it.
That's.
I heard a lot of that.
They didn't put her on the team because she's Lindsey Vonn. They put her on the team because she had the credentials to do it. She had the times and I don't care how old you are or what you're thinking. Like, you either are good enough for the team or you're not.
And it's easy for me to say this in hindsight because we all agree there, right? That's just not a thing. Like, you don't get to say whether or not an athlete gets to decide to carry on or not. That's up to the athlete. And it's easy to say in hindsight, but man, I wish she hadn't. Like, it was bad. And you can't. Like, I don't even know, like, what the math was. Like, what are we doing here? I've heard of, like, football players finishing games on ACLs. There was a guy for Alabama, defensive line, a few years ago, who played, like, no ACL for most of the season. And I would throw up watching the tape because every once in a while you would see the knee just go a little wonky. And you're like, dude, what is happening here? When you're skiing like that, pretty sure you need an ACL. Like, all the pressure on that leg. Like, I saw, not this Olympics, the last one, there was a guy who was doing freestyle skiing who tore his ACL because when he landed, he was going to fall and he just refused to let his body go that way. And he tore up his knee and eventually did fall. But like, that was kind of like, wow, what an effort. Like this guy was doing it all. This was like, what are we doing here? Like, why is this happening? Because I think athletes need to be saved from themselves sometimes. I totally respect her decision. At what point there should be a team doctor that says this is not a safe decision and we're not going to support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I also looked like an idiot that weekend because I had some players.
You bet Lindsey Vonn
that were. So I was trying to be like, so just my players don't even listen to this podcast, but I've got some players that are like, they get a paper cut and it's like, I can't play this weekend. Coach, I just can't play this weekend. I don't have it. And so I had a player that does this all the time and he's our best player and really got screwed over this weekend. But I was like, dude, like we were on the train there. I'm like, dude, look at what Lindsey Vonn is doing. And you're over here complaining about this. Come on, dude. Come on. And then legitimately, what happens to Lindsey Vonn happens, and that kid,
her screaming on repeat in your ear.
So it kind of worked, but then that kid fully rolls his ankle and like chips his bone in his ankle that day, and he's out for the next 4 weeks, and he won't be able to play in our biggest tournament in Boston. So That whole Lindsey
No.
Vaughn experience was not fun at all because I was like, look at what she's doing and she's so cool and you're not. And then she gets hurt, my player gets hurt. So great
Actually,
coaching by me.
you should be calling me out right now.
And,
You've probably heard this story, Matt, but when Tyler first played football, sixth grade? Probably sixth grade.
Sixth grade. Yeah. Fifth grade.
Fifth grade. He goes, this coach is just ridiculous what this guy was doing.
He definitely doesn't listen to the
I
pod.
should have pulled the plug. Tyler's like first practice. Helmet, like he's like getting used to things. It might have been like
looking like a bobblehead.
Early on. Yeah. He's getting used to all the equipment and stuff. And this idiot of a coach, he's not a terrible guy, but like just not understanding what goes on in football now, decides he's going to play bull in the ring. And if you don't know what bull in the ring is, this is where you put a player in the middle of a circle and then you start calling out other players' names and they charge the player in the middle and he has to take on the block. It is not a football exercise. There are very few situations where you have a man running at you from 5 to 10 yards that you are stationary and are trying to take on without any kind of an angle. Tyler got rocked. My wife Iris was like, I heard his head hit the ground. I was like, no, you didn't. That didn't happen. But she was like, no, it hit the ground. There was like a earthquake, a little bit mini earthquake. They come home and I'm like, bud, you just got to toughen up. You just got to be better. You're going to like get used to it. But right now you're just adjusting. Tyler gets in the shower going up everywhere. And I just turned to Iris and said, yeah, no, you got to take him to the emergency room. He's got to go. He's got like some kind of a level of concussion here. Like, yeah, he's got to go. She's like, you taking him? I'm like, no, I'll see you guys when you get back. I can't do this. It's like, I was like, that's bad. That's bad. He's going to be so pissed at me.
No, dude, it builds character. That's what I think is that it just builds character. So it's still one of the funniest stories. So I love it.
I do think it's funny now that your sisters think like I'm like easy on you or like whatever. And I was like, you guys forget like, first of all, you're a good guy. So like, it's hard. It's like, what am I going to give you a hard time about? But when you were, I mean, that's how I would treat Tyler. And then my oldest daughter, Maya, would come off the basketball court and be like, my heart's racing. I'm like, get in the car. We're going to the emergency room right now. She's like, dude, what are we doing?
I remember she landed on a basketball one time and she was like, my chest is kind of bothering me. And you guys spent some time in urgent care because she just landed on a basketball and got the wind knocked out of her.
Tyler's getting effed up in every way. Tyler slides into second base playing Little League. He comes up and his finger is pointing the wrong way. Iris runs onto the field. She's talking to our good friend, Kevin Samard, our good family friend, Kevin Samard. And she's like, do you think it's broken? And he like kind of looks at her surprised, like, yeah, it's probably broken. Like it's going that way.
Which I think that they should have let me play the next day, like Lindsey Vaughn. That's why we're telling those stories. Is after those injuries, we should have kept playing.
Matt, you got anything else? Does the U.S. men's hockey team have a chance?
Yes.
That's a great question.
The overtime goal was filthy.
Yeah,
that was dirty.
He was a puck hog in that
ping?
Overtime, dude. He had about 4 shots. Like I was like, there's 2 other guys on the ice.
For like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go win this. Like, isn't there something for saying like I want like he wanted the moment? I kind of like that part of it. Even on the goal though, there was opportunities. I thought it was like, oh, maybe you could move the puck there a little bit. He was like, I'm gonna get to my spot and rip, and it was filthy.
Well, I hope
I wasn't watching the.
I hope it's a Canada USA gold medal game because that'll be just epic.
That happened last Olympics, right? And I'm pretty sure it happened in the last Olympics, and I'm pretty sure the Americans had them on had a shot and then they lost.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know I
gotta look it up.
The women's, I know it's always US Canada. It's like of the 8 women's Olympics, it's 7 of them have been USA Canada gold medals, and 3 of those 7 have gone to overtime.
I have a question for you, Matt. So we've seen. I mean, I don't want to say that he was bad, but like, which goalie are you going with if you're going to the gold medal match with Canada?
Hellebuck.
Really?
100,000%. He's
100,000.
I get that.
There's not even a remote. I mean, yeah, that's Hellebuck.
Okay. No,
I'm not sure that he's going to spot on the Bruins when he gets back.
It's funny to think, like, I've totally forgotten that the NHL season's in the middle of the season. And, there's still, a third of the season to go. And the Bruins are in playoff position. And I am totally have checked out from the NHL. It's going to take me a little bit to get back into it. And it's going to be really important.
I'm afraid. I looked up the last Olympic. It wasn't Canada or US in the final.
No way.
It was Finland who beat ROC 2-1, February 20th, 2022.
That's Russia, but they changed the name because of Icarus, the doping scandal.
That's crazy.
Well, now they're
That
not.
was wild that they.
Now they're not in it because of the war in Ukraine, which I think is pretty cool if they have like the non-country people participate. And I think they're known as ANIs. And I can't remember. I wish I could remember whether it's like, an anonymous, so there's a Russian figure skater who did pretty well in the short program who was ANI. And it's like, they don't have a country.
I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah, I don't like that. You got to have a country. Would you say? What'd you say?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, it's AIN. Athlete individual neutral athlete. It's
all right. That's it.
Approved for Russians and the Belarusians.
Obviously, the football is over. The Olympics are going to be coming to an end. We're gonna get back into I think we should just get back into goofy content.
March Madness.
March Madness. Yeah, it always takes me by surprise. I don't know how. It's every year. It's there, but I don't watch college basketball at all.
It's been amazing. That's all I'm going to say. I'm still going to have the worst March Madness bracket out of everybody in the country, but college basketball has been extremely entertaining lately. No one's a ranked seed.
Are we all at all concerned that like it's starting to become all NBA children? It's all like kids of NBA stars. Feels like doesn't Duke have two kids that are like
they're twins?
They have the boozers. Yeah, they have the boozers.
There's other like big time.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah, man. Like it's kind of weird now.
Like
doesn't Hardaway have a grandkid?
Shaquille, probably.
No, that's crazy. It's talent. I mean, that's talent or genetics, whatever way you want to look at it, plus resources. I mean, that's just gonna. So it's not crazy. I mean, that's just gonna happen, right?
Yeah, it's just going to happen, yeah. Especially with the way basketball is right now. It's a full, like, AU youth sports for basketball is a full-on business.
Matt Solso, the odds are out for wins next year in the NFL.
Are they? Ooh, I'm going to have to go look.
Yep. Well, hold on. What do you think the Colts are?
For over-under on wins, I'll say
Ty, what do you think?
7.5.
I was going to say 4.5.
Jesus, Ty. He's right there. He could hear you.
I know. Dude, we were 4.5 last year.
8.5.
Yeah, so I wasn't that far off.
So you guys don't be haters. And what do you think the Patriots are?
Oh, I'd probably say
7.5.
No, they're higher than that. I'd probably say 11.5.
Dude, the schedule's going to be much harder. So, but 9.5.
Much harder.
Sorry, I know the schedule's going to be that much harder, but with the amount that everybody loved the Patriots this year, to them have a 9.5 over under for next year.
I would bet the over. Vegas wants you to bet the
over.
I mean, the odds are better. If you bet the over, it's -140. You bet the under, it's +115.
I'm not taking that bet.
They obviously think a lot of people are going to bet the over.
I mean, with the AFC East right now, this could totally be a full-on other pod, but with the AFC East right now, like, you'd think that they could probably get there. Like,
yeah,
Miami's worse than they were last year. The Jets are worse than they were last year. Like, the Bills are the only, like, you could drop 2 games with the Bills and you'd still end up with all those wins against those 2 other teams in your division.
Yeah, it might surprise you. And I kind of give it away here. Who do you think the odds makers think will have the fewest wins in the AFC East?
The Dolphins.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
4.5.
It's because the Jets have 4 first-round picks.
I guess maybe that factors into it, but like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't really have a quarterback right now. They kind of have like a few, and they don't really know who the guy is. I mean, you could say actually the same exact thing for the Jets.
Let's just say the Jets have a quarterback?
Yeah. Maybe the Jets have better defense, and they've had a coach that's going to his second year.
Yeah. All right. That's the last football note for the year.
Hell yeah.
All right, boys. Great pod. We're off again next week because we're going to be real consistent because I'm in Indianapolis for the Combine. My blood pressure is going to go up because apparently you can only eat at steakhouses in this city, Matt. That's all they have.
Indianapolis
they have pretty good coffee, too.
Yeah. Indianapolis is not known for their culinary expertise. The steak is really good. Actually, you got to go to the Working Man's Friend. That's the dive bar place. You got to go there.
Okay. But actually, the steakhouses are phenomenal. They're all great. Like the food is delicious, but it's not. There's not a lot of Asian fusion on the corners.
You got
There's not a
PF,
lot
you got
of,
PF Chang's right there in the mall. What are you talking about?
I do laugh every time I walk by the Weber Grill restaurant and think about you almost irrationally how much you hate that place.
It's nothing irrational about it. That place is god awful. And it should be so good. It should be so good, and it's terrible. So I don't think we're going to get them as a sponsor.
It's like Adam Sandler with a chubby kid holding them by the cheeks. Matt's like holding me in the cheeks saying, don't go in there. Don't go in there.
There's a lot of restaurants you can go to.
A lot of what?
Breastaurants, like
What's that?
Tilted Kilt, Twin Peaks, Hooters, those types of restaurants.
I didn't know that was a term. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, I don't go to those places. We'll talk offline, but I don't go to those places.
Well, let's be honest, it's Indianapolis, so the talent's not exactly in the upper stratosphere.
Oh boy, that's your hometown, bro.
He sounds like Charles Barkley talk about San Antonio. I love it.
All right, boys, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, bye.
Peace.